In this video, I will share how Visa's new Tokenized Asset Platform works and how it might change how banks interact with stablecoins and digital assets. My name is Dominik and I'm the consulting director at Espeo Software. We are a consulting company that helps financial institutions and fintechs use blockchain to build new services. I have been working on blockchain solutions for the past 9 years. Our clients include both traditional and digital banks. And we are seeing an emergence of initial trials in the digital assets and stablecoin space. That's why today I want to show you how the largest payment company in the world, Visa, is trying to tap into this market, which some experts believe could one day be worth up to $1.4 trillion. Before we dive into VTAP, let's set the stage with some context on why tokenization is so important for banks. Traditional assets like cash or bonds are usually managed through legacy systems that can be slow and cumbersome. For example, once the traditional bond is issued, the bank must wait several days for the full settlements of the transaction. During this waiting period, a significant amount of capital is tied up. Capital that could otherwise be deployed for new investments or loans. Also, manual reconciliations and extended processing times increase operational costs and heighten the risk of errors, which can result in compliance issues and even regulatory fines. That's why banks are considering tokenizing these assets, but also moving the money you pay for them onto a fiat-backed stablecoin. It simply makes both of these assets more liquid. According to Moore Global, unlocking this liquidity could create a completely new market. Where does that number come from? In recent years, the total value of the global real estate market has hit a staggering $280 trillion. Even if just 0.5% of the total global property market were to be tokenized in the next 5 years, it would be on track to become a $1.4 trillion market in 2030. VTAP essentially can help banks do the latter. It provides the tools and infrastructure for banks to tokenize fiat currencies on Ethereum. The banks can test it in a sandbox environment prepared by Visa and try to convert fiat currency into tokens or stablecoins. They can use these tokens to handle payments, trade assets, and offer loans. For instance, you can offer innovative lending products in which smart contracts automatically release funds when specific conditions are met. Let's say you need to distribute profits or fees to specific stakeholders. Traditionally, it had to be done by an accounting team or a designated person who had to keep track of all revenue and expenses and only then distribute them to stakeholders. With the distribution rules coded in from the start, this can be automated. You might also introduce digital deposit services that allow customers to make near-instant payments and transfers to other banks with similar systems, without the delays of traditional clearing systems. BBVA is one of the first banks to try out Visa's new platform. They have been working in the VTAP sandbox throughout this year to validate its core functionalities. The goal is to create fiat-backed tokens on a testnet blockchain. If you don't know what a testnet is, in this case the Ethereum testnet, it is a separate blockchain network designed for testing purposes only. These tokens are meant to represent the euro on the public Ethereum blockchain. BBVA disclosed that it decided to work with Visa due to its regulatory compliance, which would simplify the bank's procedures compared to adopting other stablecoin options. While the product will likely only be allowed within the bank's ecosystem at first, the idea is to allow for the interoperability of these assets between different institutions, in a similar fashion to stablecoins like USDT. Within the Visa platform, you can also try to increase the customer lifetime value by trialing a loyalty points program on Ethereum. There have already been some successful trials with such programs around the world. If you work for a bank, I also want to highlight the operational benefits, one of which is the natural value proposition of blockchain. Blockchain technology ensures a transparent and immutable record of transactions, which can make your auditing, compliance, and risk management a much easier task. Now, obviously, you will have to contribute some resources to get started. This will include technical and compliance personnel, which you probably already have on board. If not, then you can reach out to a technology partner with blockchain experience, like us, who can help you in that regard. Before we wrap, I want to highlight one crucial point. I encourage you to start by experimenting with tokenization in low-stakes environments. Here, the loyalty points or short-term receivables will be good pilot cases to refine workflows before scaling to regulated instruments. We always recommend diversifying across platforms to avoid overexposure to a single vendor. VTAP's infrastructure offers compliance ease, but contrasts with DeFi's decentralized ethos. Institutions must weigh brand trust against potential backlash from crypto-native users, which, as recent polls show, could be up to 10% of your retail clientele. Here at Espeo Software, we promote interoperability. Solutions that integrate with multiple blockchains help to avoid silos, which, as we showcased in our recent report on distributed ledger technology, is a major barrier to blockchain adoption. For example, it is important to ensure that tokenized assets on VTAP can interact with cryptocurrencies and centralized exchanges. If you enjoyed this video, you are going to enjoy this video over here, in which we break down in more detail what are tokenized deposits and why there is such a push in the industry to put fiat money on chain. Stay tuned for more, and as always, make sure to stay on the block to stay ahead.